You're watching the Frye Show on Rider Nation Station, brought to you through the help of these following fine sponsors: Buffalo Wild Wings, Miller's Funeral Home, Eagles Lodge 767, Rabel's Auto Service, Plus One Professionals, All Glaze Equipment Rental, Midway Trailers, American Legion Post 323, Albert Sporting Goods, Family Audiology, Speckman Automotive, Kogi Plumbing and Heating, Spees Chiropractic, Varsity Lanes, Minster Bank, VFW Post 9289, Guineri Pizzeria, and Fowler's TV.
Alrighty, we welcome you to the Frye Show, week number 10 of the high school football season as we wrap up the 2022 campaign. And first of all, Coach, congratulations on your 35-7 win last week on the road with Bath.
Thanks.
Before we get started, as we do each and every week, let's run down the Western Buckeye League standings as we enter into the final week of the season and of league play. Of course, Wapakoneta stands atop of the Western Buckeye League at 8-0, followed by Van Wert at 7-1. Salina and St. Mary's, who will do battle, they'll undo this tie for third place. Both of those stand at 6-2 marks. Defiance is at 5-3. Elida, Shawnee at 3-5 in the league, Kenton and OG at 1-7. Of course, Bath 0-8 on the season. In case you missed some of the scores around the Western Buckeye League last week, Salina gave Wapak all they could handle. I believe Salina threw 3 interceptions in the contest. Wapak capitalized on all 3 of those turnovers and defeated Salina 28-22. Defiance defeated OG 22-14. Van Wert all over Elida 48-16. Of course, the Shawnee defeated Kenton by a score of 35-3. This week around the Western Buckeye League, it'll be Van Wert at Bath, Shawnee at Elida, Kenton at OG, Defiance at Wapak, and of course the game you'll see here on Rider Nation Station on Friday night, Salina at Grand Lake Health System Field to take on the Rough Riders. Well, Coach, the season is coming to an end. Let's first, before we get into talking about the clips and things of that nature, let's talk about the programs and how they have finished this season. Your 8th grade is done.
Yeah, 8th grade's done. We'll go back to the 7th grade. They were undefeated. They tied 1 against Kenton. They're a club team, so they're able to play a little like a playoff thing. So they're going to Indianapolis here in a couple weeks to play in a tournament. Yeah, our 8th grade was undefeated, had a couple tight games, but they played extremely hard, and that's a good group of kids. Got to keep them out and keep them getting better. Our freshmen finished, I think, 5-2. Or 4-2. I'm not sure how many games we actually played at the freshman level. And our JVs, I believe, were 4-3 or 3-4, one of those, about 500.
So with the freshman season being completed, any possibility of bringing some of them freshmen up for Friday night? Or
our freshmen are already part of our varsity team. Okay. Yeah, we just cut them off when sometimes they play freshman games on Monday. Okay. Sometimes during the JV game, it actually hurt our JV team a little bit because then our freshmen would play a freshman game on Saturdays. Okay. Because a lot of teams don't have a lot of numbers to play a full freshman schedule, so a lot of teams like to play on Mondays.
Sure. Yeah. Of course, well, that leads us into the postseason. Of course, right now, as I look at it, the Rough Riders dropped from 7 to 8, and we're setting in the 8th spot, which still means that we will host. And I'll tell you what, this game against Salina has big implications as far as the tournament is concerned, because Salina is a division up, and if you can knock off a team in another division, especially above you, you could possibly climb in the rankings.
For sure, yeah. I think we can move up anywhere between 6, 7, or 8. We're going to finish in that area. But yeah, we got to take care of ourselves, right. Number one. And if we can take care of that, we like playing at home, and we want another home game.
Absolutely. Well, last week the Rough Riders defeated the Bath Wildcats by a score of 35-7. And in case you wasn't there or seen some of the highlights on our American Legion Post 323 highlight show on Saturday, let's take a look at some of the clips from last Friday night, Coach. And here's a good run by Colton Mabry. This is good for I believe a first down.
Yeah, he continues to get better. Just a tough runner and a heck of a halfback for us. And you're going to see him, like I said, for another 2 years.
Colton had a good ball game. He carried the ball just 8 times in the ball game, 123 yards, and of course he averaged 15.4 points, 15.4 yards per carry. So yeah, not too bad. You can work with that.
Having a pretty good night.
Here's a strong run by Aiden Hinkle.
Yeah, he continues to do what he does, and it's just a common run for him.
And, of course, he continues to lead the Western Buckeye League in rushing, and against the Bath Wildcats, 12 carries, 193 yards, 2 touchdowns, 16.1 yards per carry, and, of course, his longest run of 89 yards, which we'll show here momentarily. So here's the Rough Riders out of the full house, and this is a nice run by Dominic Osborne.
Yeah, you're seeing a lot of him as well. We've had plenty of running backs, and it really all depends on if we block people up front.
Boy, and I tell you what, he lowers his shoulder, and that poor defensive secondary for Bath took the brunt of that.
Tough kids. Another great run by Colton, finding the window and getting into the end zone.
Good blocking by the people up front, too, to open up the way. I don't even think he was touched on that particular play.
Yeah, that's always nice.
Here's a clip of your special teams.
Yeah, I thought our kickoff team played pretty well the other night. I think we're getting some height on those kicks, and we're covering extremely well. And when we cover well, great things happen. Kind of gave up a bit of a contain here, but at least we have guys getting downfield and making plays on the football.
I'll tell you, that run there was by Mikey Hale. And I'll tell you, when I first saw him run out on the field, I thought, there's no way they brought a 7th grade kid up to play. But I'll tell you what, he was very impressive, I thought, and carried the ball 16 times for 82 yards, and not very big, but he was pretty shifty.
Yeah, freshman, young kids, so we're going to continue to see him, and it's kind of their program goes in cycles,
right.
And getting a lot of great experience.
This is just good pursuit by your defensive people up front.
Yeah, it's a good job just controlling the line of scrimmage and getting to the football. I think that when that happens, great things happen.
Yeah.
Getting sharp some action here.
Yep. This is almost becoming like a normal run. You see him get that sweep and gains big yards.
Yeah,
absolutely.
He's definitely can run the sweep. And he's been doing that for 2 years, so he needs to continue to.
Yep.
Yeah.
Here's Cody Wallace. Was this by design, or he just couldn't find anybody open and tucked and run? Or
it was a boot. I think the edge kind of got blown up a bit, so he didn't have a lot of area to run and see. But he tucked it and went. So
this is the play right here. Look, Cody Wallace. It was almost, to me, it seemed like a horse collar, which probably wasn't called, and I'm sure Zach's going to talk with Mark and rules of the game on it. But he kind of fell back on his leg and it ended up being a broken tibia. But things are looking positive. I mean, with modern medicine, can get him back on the field in a short period of time.
Yeah, they're saying 3 weeks, so it's kind of been in his plate. And honestly, the kid's a great kid, and 2 years in a row here. So
exactly,
but he's who he is, and like it's part of the game.
Yeah.
So luckily, we have 77 kids on our team and a lot of kids that have played a lot of reps, so we can move on.
And I'll tell you what, Carter Steinberg came in, and he was pretty solid at QB.
Yeah, but Carter Steinberg's played probably more quarterback than Cody Wallace, because Cody Wallace missed the entire season last year, and Carter was our backup quarterback all year last year. Man, the whole JV team, he's been taking every third rep and team all season. So he's definitely got a little flick. It's like changing from a starting pitcher to a shortstop, but sometimes that shortstop can come in and still sling it.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
This is a halfback pass that didn't turn out in the Rough Riders' favor. This is an interception.
Yeah, we were kind of reeling here for a minute. Obviously, Cody got hurt, and things were going a little weird for about 5 minutes of this night. And then all of a sudden, we calmed back down, and we started doing what we started to do, and great things happened. It's just, obviously, when you lose your quarterback there, and everyone's a bit reeling for a minute.
Exactly.
It's a big blow. So.
Exactly. This is a nice play by Keegan Sharp. He fights off the block and gets in on the tackle.
Yeah, he's a great tackler, and he's an aggressive kid, and great things happen when he tackled.
This is nice pursuit, nice gang tackling by your D-line. Braxton King up front, Compton up front. There's Kevin Perry. I think if my memory serves me correctly, from the stats that I saw last week, Kevin Perry leads the Western Buckeye League in tackles.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, he's at the top. He's in on a lot of tackles. He flies around and gets his body in there, and that contributes to it.
This is Bath knocking on the door in the first half. And I'll tell you what, we're going to show all 4 plays here. This is the goal line stand by the Rough Rider defense. There's a hole there. That's stuffed like right now.
Yeah. Obviously, it took us a little time to get our get refocused there. But it seemed like it took until they got to the 1 yard line for us to start playing a little bit there. And we were playing hard, and kids are controlling, like I said, controlling the line of scrimmage.
And that's a big play right there by your defense, because that was negative yardage and threw Bath for a loss and a little bit farther to go here on 3rd and goal.
Mm-hmm.
There's Hale.
You're just seeing a lot of guys get to the football and fight off blocks and actually play full speed. I think we kind of came out feeling like it was just going to roll over on us, and no team's ever going to just roll over. So
now we're setting on about the 2 or 3 yard line, and they get close, but the Rough Rider defense was able to stop them about a half a yard short.
Yeah, it was a good fill by the linebackers, secondary, everybody involved. And
Bath got excited there for a moment.
Like I said, man, it was a weird 5 minutes there. After that 5 minutes, everything was right back to normal. So.
This is another nice run by Colton Mabry again on the night, 123 yards on just 8 carries. This is probably his longest run of 49 yards.
Yeah, he's getting loose there. Mm-hmm. Obviously, he's just a strong, physical kid, and obviously a kid we really like, and he's got a great future.
Defense, I think knocks this one out of the quarterback's hands, I believe.
Yeah, I think it was looked like Compton coming through there and getting his body on it, and he's flying around. I mean, it's a pretty good D-line when they're playing full speed.
Yeah. This is Caden Sharp and Jace Schaefer on the stop.
Yeah, kind of we were kind of playing too fast there for a minute, getting too penetrating and getting upfield and breaking our hips down, making tackles.
There at one point in time, Bath inserted a bigger kid at fullback, and we were able to handle him pretty effectively.
Yeah, the whole second half they brought a bigger kid in. I don't know if something happened to the smaller guy or what it may be, but a bigger kid played in the second half.
This is Aiden Hinkle. He picks up a first down on a pitch to the right side of the offense.
Yeah, good run by Aiden. We're just getting a surge, man.
Yeah, good line. You can't say enough for the offensive line and the line play that you've gotten over the last 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, those guys are getting better, and they're kind of who we put our stock in.
Yep. Here's the first of Aiden Hinkle's 2 touchdown runs. This is a 39-yard run. He just gets by the defense and beats them to the corner.
Yeah.
And good balance, too. He got a shove there at about the 7-yard line and was able to just lean forward and put it in the end zone.
He's a very good athlete. Probably a better athlete than we realize he is at times.
Of course, he's the Western Buckeye League's leading rusher, and if all goes as well, I don't see anybody behind him that would be able to top that. So, but continues to play well.
Yeah, we need him to. Kickoff coverage again. I thought we got downfield pretty fast and made tackles. That's great. So it's like I said, we're going to have to continue to do that. I think it was rush kicking that one. So we're going to have to get great kicks and great coverage.
This is just strong defensive play again by your defense.
Yeah, good fill.
Got to stretch it out.
Yeah, Sullivan's been playing safety linebacker for seems like forever. So he flows pretty well.
This is Aiden Hinkle's 89-yard touchdown run, and we're going to show this from the other angle after this particular play, but I'll tell you what, Doug Spencer could have ran this one through the hole. And I say that truthfully.
Yeah, Doug Spencer would have got caught, though.
You think so?
Yeah, but he would have got at least 20 probably.
Check this one out from the behind. Look at the hole that opens up here. He doesn't. I don't think he even gets touched. Look how big that is.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Sometimes you pick your poison, you know what I mean?
And off he goes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So. And that's Rough Rider football there. I mean, we've been seeing Rough Rider football of yesteryear with the big 20-yard runs, the 30-yard runs, the 70-yard runs. That's what St. Mary's fans have seen in the past, but I'll tell you what, we've seen a good number of runs over 20 yards this season.
That's our backbone. I mean, we have tough physical kids that know how to run the wing tee and that want to play running back. Yeah.
Of course, we have to get Logan Rush and a PAT in here. We can't omit those special teams people.
Yeah.
Good protection. Puts it down, puts it up. He's been kicking the ball good as of late.
Yeah, that one was not great. That one snuck over the goalpost, but he can boom it. He's getting better, you know. Like I said, it's his first year kicking varsity, so he knows what he needs to do.
This is special teams on the kickoff. Good coverage once again.
Yeah. Good coverage, good tackling. You know, that's all how it works together.
Yep.
You need all 11 bodies to do their job on the kickoff team, and it kind of sets the tone for your defense, the kickoff team.
Yeah. This is just a good stop here by Kevin Perry. Just steps up in the hole. This is the big kid at fullback, and all of a sudden, boom, he meets Kevin Perry and no gain. And of course, your defense holds Bath to 161 yards of total offense, 93 through the air, and 68 yards on the ground. So all around, you have to be pleased with that performance.
Yeah. They are continuing to get better, and they work at it, and it's all about fundamentals.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. It's a good tackle.
That's just
here.
a good tackle. Good timing on the play, and jars the ball loose from the receiver. So
yeah, you're seeing him continue to get better, Jacob Kessler. He's a young kid too, you know, so have a lot of experience, but man, it's week 10 now, so there are no sophomores or young guys anymore, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's the big kid once again, and boom, your defense is right there. Good surge.
Yeah, you're just seeing the defensive line control the line of scrimmage. So it's good scoop up here by Solly, and obviously he likes to field punts and return punts, and him and Sharp both. So they do a good job back there.
Takes a special guy to return punts.
Yeah, it's kind of scary. Have you ever done it?
Never.
No, me either. Never wanted to either.
No, not at all.
My brother told me that it's the scariest he's ever been was when he
because seriously, in all honesty, just think about it. Not only do you have to catch the football and focus on that, you kind of have to be aware of where the defensive people are, because they're breathing right on you.
Yeah.
And so it takes a lot of concentration.
It's like catching a fly ball with people running at you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Luckily, I was always too fat and slow. They never moved back there. So.
This is a nice run by Colton Mabry, his 36-yard touchdown run.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, man. He, like I said, for weeks here, he's a great kid.
Yeah. He's fast.
He is fast.
He's fast.
He doesn't look it because he takes little strides.
He looks like a little bowling ball out there running around.
Those feet move really fast.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's a lunch faster than he looks on film, and he's one of our top kids. You know. So.
This is a nice run by Dominic Osborne, and of course he's going to be back for a couple of more years in the backfield. And
yeah, he's physical. You know. So I'll tell you a lot about this sophomore group in general. A lot of times your sophomore kids don't get up in the morning. They're not the work. They don't put as much into the weight room because they don't foresee themselves playing. But our entire sophomore group, man, those guys were there all winter long with our varsity guys lifting.
And it pays off.
It does.
You know, it pays off. And I don't think they realize that, being sophomores and even freshmen, that you know, the harder you work, sooner or later, it's going to pay off.
Yeah,
It'll pay off.
It does. Especially guys like him and Caleb Felver, who you're seeing out there now. Those guys refuse to get fired. You know what I mean? Like they're always asking, "How can I get on the field? How can I get on the field?"
Oh, exactly.
Like, just wait your turn, man. You know, give them the coach speak, but at some point you play them, and then they take advantage of their opportunity.
Absolutely. This is Braxton King. He came back about 4, 5, 6 weeks ago, and he's made a big impact on your D-line.
When he came back, he was extremely out of shape.
I think he's there.
You're starting to see some of the Braxton King you saw last year. So it takes time, and he missed a whole summer. That's what it is. Yeah.
It's just another good stop by your defense.
Yeah. Playing well over there right now, and it's when they need to continue to. It's kind of our backbone of who we are. Great defense, great O-line. That's who we are as a program, who we are as a community, as St. Mary's football. So
there's good pressure put on the Bath quarterback by your defense, and of course forced the throw, came up short. Braden Sullivan picked it off, got another takeaway.
Sure.
Then we got our backup quarterback in.
Yeah, I got some young guys in there, man. And there's Ramble here running a counter. Better put his pads down at the end there to lose a daggone knee. But they're learning. They do well, man. We have some really good young kids coming, so that we're excited about. And you look at them out there, though, they need the weight room. So that's just the big thing with them. So. They're good kids.
You know, and a lot of that, and you see that a lot, you know, in the younger grades. And I think as they'll mature, and they'll get bigger.
Puberty helps too.
Absolutely.
So
your defense causes a fumble right here.
Yeah. Yeah, this kid's playing hard. There's a Williams kid down there in that. There's a Gieske kid. They're playing hard. So they all want to. I mean, it's exciting. You know what I mean? They're on TV. They're on. Their moms are sitting in the stands.
Absolutely.
You know, their mom's been watching them stand on the sideline.
Grandma and grandpas are watching on TV.
Yeah. So
that was Caleb Schmidt who got some carries in the ballgame. As a matter of fact, he carried 2 more times than Colton Mabry did.
Did he?
Yep,
Yeah.
he carried 10 times for 41 yards.
So we really have high hopes for Schmidt.
Oh,
yeah, he's going to be a pretty good one. Like I said, he could use puberty a little more too, though. You know, they all could use the weight room, puberty, all that right there. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So he's continued to grow, and he'll continue to get better. But great kid, great motor.
Luke Ramel.
This
is a good run.
A very good cutback. That's Sullivan-esque right there. That looked very Sullivan.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So.
Well, that's a look at some of the clips over the Rough Riders' 35-7 win over the Bath Wildcats. Of course, this week they host the Salina Senior Bulldogs, and I think, Coach, to my recollection, this might be the first time that Salina has been on this field.
No.
Have they been here before?
Played this COVID year.
Oh, they did.
Yeah,
here
they did the so they kept the rivalries in COVID year, and we played them in the last week of the season. And was it be 2020? So, yeah.
Okay, so they'll be here again on Friday to conclude the regular season. Of course, it's always a big rivalry. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about that rivalry right after this.
You're watching the Bo Frye Show on Rider Nation Station, brought to you through the help of these following fine sponsors: Buffalo Wild Wings, Miller's Funeral Home, Eagles Lodge 767, Rabel's Auto Service, Plus One Professionals, Oglaze Equipment Rental, Midway Trailers, American Legion Post 323, Albert Sporting Goods, Family Audiology, Speckman Automotive, Kogi Plumbing and Heating, Spees Chiropractic, Varsity Lanes, Minster Bank, VFW Post 9289, Guineri Pizzeria, and Fowler's TV.
All righty, we welcome you back once again to the Bo Frye Show. I'm Joe Hurlbert alongside head coach Bo Frye. You're watching the Bo Frye Show on Rider Nation Station. Glad to have you along. Don't forget rules of the game coming up, and of course we'll have the coaches show as well, but those are going to be live on Wednesday, which is probably after this airs or before this airs, but nonetheless, if you get an opportunity, check it back on Rider Nation Station. And I also want to mention too, while I got an opportunity, people have asked, how do I get notified that the games are on, or Bo Frye show's on, or rules of the game, or whatever the case may be? Well, you subscribe to Rider Nation Station on YouTube, or like us on Facebook, and then you will receive notifications, whether it be on whatever device you happen to be watching on, as to when these programs begin to air. So that's how you be a part of Rider Nation Station. Well, Coach, the Salina Senior Bulldogs come in. I think when we talk about Salina, I tell you what, I work in Salina. I've talked to a lot of Salina people that are close to the program. I think a lot of people are surprised at the way this season has turned out for the Salina Bulldogs. They're 6-3 overall. They come in 6-2 in the Western Buckeye League. They gave Wapakoneta all they could handle last week. Of course, I think the turnover was the big bugaboo last week against Wapak. They threw 3 picks. Wapak was able to capitalize on all 3 of those, but your ball club has to be ready.
Oh, 100%. And obviously they're much improved, and Coach Bader's done a great job with them. And obviously they returned 7 starters on defense and 6 or 7 on offense. So usually good things happen when we return a lot of starters. But they put a lot of work into it, and they've really a lot more fundamentally sound, and they play a lot harder. So
when Carter Steinberg lines up offensively, what kind of defense are you going to see? You're going to see an odd man front?
Yeah, they kind of rotate between a 5-2 and a 4-4. They're pretty fundamentally sound.
Are they?
Very good defensive line, and they play a lot harder than they played last year.
Then, of course, defensively, what can you expect?
Defensively, they're in the spread. They like to run it, but they also can throw it around with their quarterback. He's a pretty good little gunslinger back there, so we're going to have to make sure we're ready for everything.
Right, and it's been in years past, the quarterback has been very important cog for Salina's offense. And last year over there at Salina, we kind of shut their offensive game down, and that'll be no different again this year. You're going to have to put pressure on the quarterback. You're going to have to keep their running backs contained, and if everybody on defense does their part, does their role, it should turn out okay.
Yeah, 100%. We have to control the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. Our defensive line needs to have a great night. Then we need to tackle extremely well and do our job.
And obviously it probably shouldn't be much of a motivation factor, but How hard is it to get your ball club up for Salina?
I don't have to do a whole lot.
I'm sure they're ready.
I'm just trying to coach the little things and improve the fundamentals. Those guys, there's no lost love for those guys.
Yeah, it's no secret. This is the big game, and there's a little special oomph behind it. You mentally prepare a little harder, you physically prepare a little harder, and I think you stay focused a lot when this is a big ball game, and it has a lot of implications. And of course, especially when it comes to the playoffs, like I said, the Rough Riders could move up, to 7, possibly 6 in the computer rankings. Of course, we're still going to have a home game in the computer playoffs, but first of all, we have to take care of Friday night.
Yeah, we got to win to get a home game.
Absolutely,
and we like winning. We like playing at home, and our kids like playing at home, and there's a lot of motivation for our kids. Yeah.
Well, that's going to do it on the Bo Frye Show. For head coach Bo Frye, I'm your host, Joe Hurlbert. Until next time, so long, everyone.
You're watching the Bo Frye Show on Rider Nation Station, brought to you through the help of these following fine sponsors: Buffalo Wild Wings, Miller's Funeral Home, Eagles Lodge 767, Rabel's Auto Service, Plus One Professionals, All Glaze Equipment Rental, Midway Trailers, American Legion Post 323, Albert Sporting Goods, Family Audiology, Speckman Automotive, Kogi Plumbing and Heating, Spees Chiropractic, Varsity Lanes, Minster Bank, VFW Post 9289, Guarneri Pizzeria, and Fowler's TV.